Good morning. Right, good afternoon. Y'all see what time of day I'm still on, right? My name is Erica. I am the daughter of David K. Hudson Bay, known to the Michigan Department of Corrections as prisoner number 179401. But to me, he's my dad. My daughter is around here somewhere. To him, he's her papa. I am one of the co-MCs today, but I just always speak at this podium. And the first time I was here, I was so excited, I was nervous, and I was full of pride when I took this podium. Today I stand here, and I'm still filled with those same emotions, but in addition to that, I'm filled with grief, anger, with a little irritation. I contemplated for months what I would say here today, and I couldn't come up with anything. And just this week, I heard my dad say, "Baby, just tell your story, tell them your truth." My father passed away February 21st, 2020. He had a brain tumor, and he was still in Robert Correctional Facility. He did not get the care that he needed. So that's where my irritation comes in at. And of course, my grief comes in because he's not here. My anger comes in because we stand here and we take this podium and we're doing these rallies and we're fighting for them and nothing is being done. These men are going out here and they're doing these crimes, and don't get me wrong, they shouldn't. But at the end of the day, the Michigan Department of Corrections, our system is meant to rehab and reform. So when the men are in here and they're joining these organizations and they're doing these movements and they're changing their lives and they're getting reform and they're still not being heard when they go up to the parole board, what do? When our loved ones get sentenced, we get sentenced. David didn't do over 30 years in prison by himself. Excuse my French, but I did that shit with him. He was never at a parent-teacher conference. He was never at a homecoming. He was never at a birthday party physically. But let me tell you something about my father. Those bars did not stop him from raising me. He was at everything I had. He was on the phone when it came time to sing happy birthday. He saw every gift through every photo. Every card he sent, he had cards there before the birthday was even on the calendar. My daddy didn't let that stop him. All of our men don't have that strength. We have to help them get that. We cannot let them stop being parents when they get behind those bars, because trust me, the system is against them. The system is not meant to help us. We have to fix this, and we're trying to figure out how. All of us don't have the connections. All of us don't have the money. Everybody don't know somebody who can help them. I stand here today for David K. Hudson Bay. I stand here today for my friend Liddell Dukes, who just got into a crime up in Lapeer, Michigan. Did a crime with 2 white boys. He the only one in jail, facing a long time. He had a court-appointed mouthpiece. Court-appointed mouthpieces are not here to help us. What do we do as a people when the prosecutor and the judge are having lunch and dinner together? Their kids are babysitting one another, and they're having golf outings. They've already determined our loved ones' fate during these outings. If you don't have money to get a mouthpiece, you hit. If you're in Michigan and you black and you do a crime, baby, you hit. Something has to change. Something has to change. And all these months we knew this rally was coming, I felt like I'm not passionate. I told Connie, I said, "Connie, I'm struggling here. It's hard for me to answer the phone when the guys call. It's hard for me to be on the Zoom calls because my best friend, he gone." When I stood here on this podium, I was fighting for my father's rights. All these days when we were scheduling this rally, I was like, who am I fighting for? And it just came to me as I still stand here. I'm fighting for the ones who are still incarcerated with this life sentence. The ones who don't have anybody to fight for them. Something has to be changed. We vote these politicians in office. They don't do anything for us. We tried to get Governor Gilchrist here. We reached out to him several times. He asked us to stand tall for Michigan. He can't even come and hear what we got to say today.
Speak
Something has to change.
Speak it.
So as I co-MC this today, I ask that you all, we have to stand up and end mass incarceration today.
I'll pause to introduce myself because we have a state representative who wants to speak, and she has only this time to do so. So please, Rep. Stephanie Young.
All right now, good afternoon and God bless you all. Thank you so much for being here. This is an important day. This is an important time. Things have to change. And as a lawmaker, I'm here to help do that. I'm so grateful for you all's support. You know, as we look at Michigan's pretrial system, we know that it's badly broken. We know that in prisons right now, in our jails right now, there can be upwards of 32,000 people. And 16,000 of them could have been home by now. That's just not right, y'all. When I look out here and I see your signs about mercy and justice, that's what we're here to do. And so last year, there was a bipartisan Michigan Joint Task Force on jail and pretrial incarceration reform found that Michigan's criminal justice system used a large share of its jail capacity to penalize low-level offenses, costing us all kind of money, y'all. Why? I'll tell you this, though. As much as we've suffered because of the pandemic, there have been some lessons learned. And one of the lessons learned during that pandemic, folks that didn't need to be locked up should have been sent home, and we sent them home. Yeah, let's not just look at all the bad that came out of it. There have been some good things that came out of it. And so I need you all to know that I will be fighting for pretrial reforms and jail reforms, and particularly for those non-violent offenses. Currently, there's a package of legislation being worked on that I'm a part of. And my bill would simply say that you can be released on your own recognizance. You don't have to spend a dime to go home. Because we've all gotten in a little bit of trouble sometime. Why should we have to go to jail just because we don't have the money to get out? Right. That just ain't right, y'all. And so this bill package is gonna address that. And then additionally, I see a number of my brothers out here. I see my, what's up? You know the National Organization of Exonerees? Woo-wee, let's give it up, let's give it up. They are doing amazing work. And when I got in the legislature, one of the things I learned during testimony in the House Oversight Committee on FOIA bills is that incarcerated persons don't have access to FOIA. I said, what is that about? The legislation, the language says everybody can FOIA except y'all. I said, well, that ain't right. And then I went and I talked to people like my brother here and others, and they told me, Representative, if we had an opportunity to utilize FOIA, we could have shared.
You gonna get me up there, brother?
Well, what it is it's just a showing where there'll be all formerly incarcerated people standing behind the prosecutor of Ingham County while she's giving the keynote address. So it's just us really standing up there for about 5 minutes. So that's what it is. Why I was going around asking about how long have folks had done. So because the schedule's kind of wonky, we don't have room to fit anybody in like impromptu to speak. But if there is opportunity for that, then
I got a message of unity. I want all the people to hear, man, for real.
Okay, well, if it's something that can be worked in, I can't promise that it will be, just because our schedule, organizing shit like this is horrible sometimes.
Trust me, I got a message, man. Thank you.
I want y'all to look around and see what's happening right now as we fill in this space. Again, we are here in support of second look legislation. My name is Daniel Jones. I am formerly incarcerated. I served 23 years of a juvenile life without parole sentence for a great harm that I committed in my community in the city of Detroit at the age of 16. I was released on parole in 2019. Made it off parole this year in March, and I am currently I am currently the Outreach and Engagement Coordinator for the Michigan Collaborative to End Mass Incarceration, a consultant with the American Friends Service Committee's Michigan Criminal Justice Program, board member for Nation Outside, chairman for the Voting Access for All Coalition, steering team member for the Open My Door campaign to end solitary confinement, member of the Leadership Council to end LWOP with Human Rights Watch in California. And I use that narrative as a platform to say that there are people incarcerated in Michigan's prisons right now who have caused great harm in community, who have served long time in prison and can be safely released back into the community right now. Right now, they can be released and will pose no threat and will be upstanding citizens in their community. As I look out into this crowd, I see a lot of formerly incarcerated people here that have caused great harms in the community, but we have all been released. I see you, Craig. We are all here, and we are all doing something with ourselves out here in this community, and again, we are here in support of Second Look legislation. And of course, we're gonna have a full day of speakers coming up, so get ready to hear some powerful messages. And right now, I wanna bring up our next guest speaker, Senator Jeff Irwin.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here on the Capitol lawn. I want you to look around and thank the people next to you, because it's a big deal that you're here calling for an end to mass incarceration, calling for support for Second Look. Do I need to speak up? All right. Hey, thank you for that. And so I'm Jeff Irwin. I represent Ann Arbor and Ypsilanti and Washtenaw County in the state Senate, and I'm a proud supporter of Second Look legislation.
The bald
I want
headed
to
guy
thank all
said
of
he's
you
gonna
who
try
are
to get
here
in.
to support Second Look today, and I want to start
But the main guy,
in the
the
same way I'm going
white
to
shirt.
finish,
Okay.
by asking you to directly contact your representative, directly contact your senator. They're right here in Lansing. They're in that building. The senators are over there. The representatives are over there. Make sure you touch base with your representatives here in Lansing and ask them to support Second Look legislation. Ask them to end mass incarceration in Michigan. Ask them if they believe in rehabilitation. Ask them if they believe in second chances. Ask them if they know people in their community who've come back from doing their time and who are now contributing in positive ways to their community. Because what we need from them, what we need from every one of these 148 legislators is a yes to every one of those questions. And that's why we're here today. And so I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for asking those questions. And I want to urge you to keep asking. Because sometimes it can feel rather hopeless when our loved ones are in prison, and it seems like this state adopted a policy decades ago of get tough on crime, lock them up and throw away the key, and now it feels like there's no way to go back. But I'm here to tell you that there is a way to go back. These criminal justice reform issues, these issues around smarter justice, not tougher justice, have real legs here in the legislature. Not only are there progressive folks like me who believe in second chances and who support Second Look and are here to fight for the end of mass incarceration, there are also conservatives who need to hear your message. There are conservatives who believe in second chances. There are conservatives who believe in redemption. There are conservatives who believe that we're wasting a generation of treasure locking people up for too long here in the state of Michigan. And they need to hear from you. They need to hear from you that it's the right thing to do. They need to hear from you that it's the just thing to do. They need to hear from you that it's the Christian thing to do. And so, just a little bit more on this. I just want to make sure that you all know. I know if you're here today on the Capitol lawn calling for an end to mass incarceration, calling for support for Second Look, you probably know this already, but I'm going to say a few things that need to be said as often as possible, which is that here in the state of Michigan, we have some of the harshest laws in the nation. We have the worst sentencing laws in the entire country. If you are sentenced here in Michigan, you're going to serve a longer term for committing the same crime that you would in any of the other states around us. Here in Michigan, we bought that gift tough on crime philosophy harder than any of the other states. And now, you know what we have? We have people who are serving extremely long sentences. We have some of the most expensive prisons in the entire nation. And we've got folks right now who are sitting in prisons in Michigan, who've been there for 20, 30, 40 years. These people are elderly. They've aged out of crime a long time ago. They weren't going to be reoffenders a long time ago, and they're still sitting there 10, 20 years later. We need to take a second look. And that's what's so great about this second look policy is it's individualized. It's not the sort of blanket justice policy that we're living with here in Michigan, lock them all up and throw away the key. Instead, this second look legislation would call for our judges to take a second look at these cases. Look at the people. Not just what they've done, but what they've been doing for the last 10, 20, 30 years. Because a lot of these individuals, not only have they aged out of crime, not only are they excellent candidates for release, not only do they have support outside, but these people have done good time. A lot of these folks have shown in prison that they've been productive, they've taken the classes, they've kept out of trouble in prison, and these people are excellent cases for release. So that's why we need second look. We need to once again think about who it is that we're mad at and who it is that we're afraid of, and we need to really lean strongly into what prison and corrections is really supposed to be about, which is rehabilitation. So let me finish where I started by asking every one of you to reach out to your legislator. Make sure you reach out to your representative, reach out to your senator, ask them if they believe in second chances, ask them if they'll support second look. If they won't give you an answer here in Lansing today, ask them over email, ask them on social media, ask them in town halls, ask them at their coffee hours. Do you believe in second chances? And if you do, let's pass second look legislation. Let's end mass incarceration in Michigan. Let's take the couple $100 million we'd save every year and invest it in promoting people's success, not continue to waste it and locking people up for their failures of 20 or 30 years ago. So thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for being here. Let's get second look passed.
Another round of applause for Senator Jeff Irwin, please. And again, reach out to these elected officials and ask them, do you believe in second look? At this time, I would like to bring up our next guest speaker, Senator Stephanie Chang.
Why do I have to follow Jeff Irwin? Oh my goodness, that was great. Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie Chang and I'm the state senator for Detroit and Downriver in District 1. This is so inspiring to see all of you here. Thank you so much for being here. This is your state capital. Jeff and I and our colleagues, we work for you. So it's so important that we continue to hear your voices. I'm going to keep it really short. I mostly just wanted to come and say thank you for raising your voices. By the way, I love these signs, mercy, justice, and healing. That's what we're talking about. I see so many of you have signs with names and numbers of the people that you're fighting for. I just want to take a moment, and I know that you all are here because you believe so passionately in people and in people's humanity, but you probably also got some very specific people that you're fighting for, and I want to hear their names. So if you're willing, on the count of 3, if you could just shout out the name of who you're here for, who are you fighting for today? 1, 2, 3.
Jerome Hill.
Thank you. We would probably be here all day, honestly, to hear everyone's names, right? Because we know that there are 13,000 of our 35,000 people that are incarcerated here in Michigan that have been in for over 15 years and are there for long periods of time. And so those are the folks that we're fighting for. I want to echo what Senator Irwin said, because I think that it's really important that we remember what it is that is our core value, and that is people's humanity. The fact that people need to be treated with dignity and respect, and the fact that people should be given second chances. So I'm so happy to be here to really just hear your voices, which are so inspiring, and to state my support for second look legislation. I'm really excited to work with Senator Irwin, Senator Geis, and others, anyone who's willing to join us, to say that if you have been in prison and if you've served a certain amount of time, that you absolutely deserve a second look. People change, people mature, people have mentors that they that they meet in prison and become even better people. People absolutely can change. And that is what we believe, right? We're all here because we know that people can change. So just thank you so much for being here. I also want to give a shout out to Citizens for Prison Reform, who I've been working with on the Open My Door Coalition. And, we've got to absolutely make some change to what the policies that we have in place regarding solitary confinement. It is inhumane. We know that far too many have suffered with some truly unjust situations. So I'm going to continue that fight as well. But just truly thank you for being here. Please keep speaking up. Please keep reaching out to your lawmakers and let them know who it is you're fighting for and why it's so important that we always remember that it's about people's humanity. Thank you.
Another round of applause for Senator Stephanie Chang, please. And again, like we would not be doing this, we would not be having this event right here, right now, had it not been for people that are currently incarcerated who put the word out that we should start organizing this rally. And at this time, we would like to play a recording from one of the brothers that's incarcerated right now. His name is Malijah X. A few of you brothers might know him, some of y'all might know who he is. But yeah, we're gonna play this recording, so we ask that I'll just take a minute to listen to the voices of people that's currently incarcerated.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for attending.
Sorry, I'm gonna get it up before we forget.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for attending. I'm President 196.
Can you hear it?
As Eddie Malijah G. I have been incarcerated for 34 years now for a crime I committed when I was a teenager, 17 years old. I would like to first say all praise is due to God, the Most High, for blessing us with such a wonderful occasion to end mass incarceration. Secondly, I would like to extend my deepest gratitude and honors to all of the guest speakers, men, women, who are physically here and tuned in via social media, and especially the organizers. I would be remiss in my responsibility and commitment to the National Rifles of America Incorporated if I did not pay homage and respect to the former men and women who have paved the way for me to take up the matter of criminal justice reform and become a freedom fighter for justice. The USA is the greatest nation on earth. This greatness is propounded on the very ideal of the U.S. Constitution that was written in 1781. The writers of this Constitution were individuals who strongly believed in freedom, justice, and equality, as well as the constitutional and the consistent advancement of America as a whole. However, it is only logical for us to wonder, how can our nation be so great, so free, and so advanced, but yet has the largest prison population than any other nation in the civilized world? What would the writers of the Constitution think about mass incarceration? Over 1.9 million Americans being in prison. What do we think about black men coming to prison at an alarming rate? How can we stand here today and say that we are against systematic racism in the murdering of George Floyd by police officer Derek Chauvin, but not be willing to challenge mass incarceration as it relates to the overwhelming racial disparities that exist within our criminal prison justice system? tremble for my country when I reflect that God is just, and his justice cannot speak forever. He made this statement during the time when blacks were slaves and treated unjustly. The late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Here in Michigan, there are currently about 38,000 prisoners. There are many men and women in Michigan prison systems who have been convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to mandatory life. Mandatory life is virtually a death sentence. A number of these men and women sentenced to mandatory life have been incarcerated for 20, 30, even more than 40 years. Even 56 years, 51 years by my brother that's here right now. But most of these men have been transformed and no longer present a threat to security of society or the safety of society. Many of these lifers cost the state millions of dollars in medical costs each year. Michigan Department of Corrections have gone from 1.6% of the state general fund spending to nearly 20%. The cost of life in prison is high, in the range of $1 million per adult in prison, with expenses rising ridiculously after middle age. It is not possible to intelligently improve prison re-sentence and criminal justice reform without adequately changing the way we view people who have been convicted of a violent offense. Simply because a person has been convicted of a violent offense does not necessarily mean that the individual is a violent person or remain violent for the rest of their life. People age out of crime, learn from their past behaviors, develop sincere remorse and empathy for their victims, mature and achieve genuine reform through long-term incarceration. Many of these men can be safely released back to society. These men and women, we deserve a second chance. Society has to take a look at us. They have to trust in us. They have to trust in the very ideal of what America is founded on, which is a second chance, which is a second look. And I want to today introduce you to some of these men who have been here for long times in the Michigan Department of Corrections and have transformed themselves to the best of their abilities to the limited programs that is provided for us and that we have to strive to become a part of on our own accord. Here's some of these men. Good afternoon. My name is George Ford. I'm 67 years old. I've been in prison approximately 35 years. I was 33 when I committed this crime. However, I'm 67 years old now. I'm not a menace to society. And I believe in my heart, I have immeasurable faith that the agenda items really get that done. Particularly the second look. And I think that we need to get these agenda items codified into law or statute. So long after we gone and released, then it would affect those who may need to be released after us. Thank you for listening. Good evening, everybody. My name is Todd Wayne. I'm an Asian. I'm 50 years old. I was 20 when I committed my crime. I've been locked up 30 years now. I need a second chance. Please give me a second chance. Thank you, everybody, from the bottom of my heart. Hola. Hello, everyone. Appreciate the opportunity and time to be here to actually speak. My name is Keith Epps. I have been locked up for 28 years, 1 month, and 12 days. I committed my crime when I was 21 years of age. limited knowledge that I had, but I have changed over the course of the 28 years of being incarcerated. I'm 50 years of age today. I have been doing everything, every program that's been limited to us to be able to improve my life. I have changed for the best. I have been mentoring beings who have came down and walked in the same footsteps in which I have walked in. But yet we have been doing things to change our lives and change the lives of others. And we deserve a second chance. Thank you for listening. Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Irwin. I am 63 years old, white male. I committed my crime when I was 18. I got 44 years in. I appreciate your time and your efforts, and I deserve a second chance. Thank you. These are just some of the men are here. There are thousands of others. In fact, the Michigan the Department of Correction houses 5,000, approximately 5,700 licensed. These enough to 5,000, 3,000 of those are first-degree licensed. And the parolable life, because those who are serving over 25 years. And all we're saying is that it is up to you, Michiganders, people who love this state. We love this state. And we know that it is time to make a change. There is a universal cry to end mass incarceration. We know. And we respond, and we ask that you all respond to this cry. You all respond and stand on this great Constitution that our founding fathers founded this nation on. Mass incarceration is a disease like systematic racism and hate and ill practices and mental illnesses. These are all diseases to our Constitution. And we thank you all for listening. Have a nice day. Have a nice rally. And power to the people.
Power to the people. Again, give another round of applause for our brothers currently incarcerated who you just heard speaking. We gonna be doing that throughout the day, playing recordings, uplifting the voices of people currently incarcerated. And at this time, I definitely want to point people to the tables on the left side towards the back. If you have a loved one that is currently incarcerated, they may have a picture and a poster for you to go back and utilize it, hold it up in the air, bring your loved one into this space because it's them who we are asking to have a second look. So again, if you have a loved one currently incarcerated, make your way to the tables on the left side. It says "Free Them All" on it. Find their picture. And again, we are here today in support of Second Look legislation. What we are doing here is showing solidarity and support for our brothers and sisters currently incarcerated. And there's ways that you can take action on this. And one of the ways that you can take action, again, is of course at the tables that are out here. There's a lot of information on it. At the table that says "Free Them All," there is literature on there and a QR code on the back of the paper that you can scan, and you'll be able to stay in tune with Second Look legislation.
What's going on, brother?
Updates. You can also text Second Look to 66866. That's another way for you to be involved.
No
stay
question,
current,
man. I'm trying to get up here on the stage and let the people know what I'm doing now, man.
Second
They
Look
get me up there,
legislation.
but
Again,
no
you
question,
can text
man. I'm here for
Second
y'all.
Look at 66866. Also, there's a website that has just been launched today called LetMeTellYouMI.org. This website is uplifting the people that are currently incarcerated, people like Tashina. You'll be able to find them on this website sharing their stories about the transitions that they've made while incarcerated and the reason why they need to have a second look and deserve an opportunity at release. Again, that's www.letmetellyoumi.org. please visit that website. It just launched today. At this time, I want to bring up Constance Gardner to give some shout outs to everybody that had a part in making this event happen here today.
Hey, all right now, first of all, before I give a shout out to the organizations, I want to shout everyone that's here out, because if it wasn't for you being here, supporting your families and your loved ones, whatever we did wouldn't even matter. So we're giving a shout out to you first. I'm gonna give a shout out to God because the sun is shining. Okay, we prayed about the rain this morning, that it would not rain. Thank you, Lord, for holding back the rain and letting the sun shine. So right now, I am here on behalf of the National Lifers of America. I am just the initiator to get this rally started, like the point person, but I couldn't do it without the other organizations joining with us. So we're giving a shout out to the National Lifers of America. We're giving a shout out to TARP, the Adolescent Redemption Project. We're giving a shout out to American Friends Service Committee. A shout out to the National Organizations of Exonerees, Interfaith Coalition for Peace and Justice, Safe and Just Michigan, the Sentencing Project, shout out, Sentencing Project, Michigan Collaboration to End Mass Incarceration, Nation Outside, Rise Up Michigan, Michigan Justice Advocates. Now we know that we had a number of endorsers, and we can't put everybody's name on here. I'll be up here all day probably. So a shout out to everybody that is in this for the right reasons, for our loved ones to come home. We want legislators, our governors, the
See how that works?
Yeah.
So thank you for being here today.
Wait a minute.
Think you gonna be able to get me up there?
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, be honest with me.
Another big round of applause for Connie.
Hey.
Hi, I'm Natalie Holbrook with the AFSC. I'm about to play a recording of a lot of women who called in and were asked how long they're serving and how long they've been down. And
we are right before our first intermission.
I'm trying to get up here.
Offer back to the community.
I'm trying to get up here and speak. So I have a podcast, FreeMe podcast. A lot of these inmates that they're talking about is on my podcast. I actually called the prison and had interviews with these inmates.
Okay.
I have a message that I want all these people to hear. I need 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
5 minutes. It's a message of unity and solidarity.
All right, let's do this. And what's your name?
Thomas FreeMe. Thomas Harold is my name. FreeMe Podcast is my YouTube channel. DeMel Dukes, I have him on my channel. Trinity Matheson, I have him on my channel. I have over 7 hours of interview with Temujin Kinsu, live from prison. I call the prisons and get interviews with these inmates.
Yeah, you know a lot of the inmates that my organization knows. Yeah, let's remember Josh Puckett.
Horace Peterson, all of these people.
Well, let's do this then, because I'm going to see if I can try and fit you in near the end then.
Okay.
Okay. No promises, obviously.
Yes.
But yeah, let me see what we can do with time and everything, because we started a little bit late, and it's 1 o'clock now. Okay. Be back with you.
Thank you.
Ready?
I came to prison at the age of 20 years old. When I tried to help people, it was the wrong way. I wanted better and become a good person and mother. Then I thought, get your GED in college. I signed up for most of the programs to improve my skills, becoming a certified clerk, business education training for transformation.
That's hard to hear.
Yeah, just so you know, I drove here from Florida. I drove here from Florida to be able to get up here and speak, hopefully. So,
All right. Yeah, I want to see what I can do for you, okay?
Appreciate it, man.